From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And Hill running right through it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Frank Gore, the newest and oldest Dolphin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Tannehill. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
It was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. And there's a nice catch by Mike Gesicki, the rookie out of Penn State. And partner, you saw him when you were covering Big Ten football. He didn't block very many people, but that's not what they asked him to do. They asked him to go.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Albert Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
3rd and 2 for Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done. Keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry, always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And some room to roam now. There he goes right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. extra point away from tying up this football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and we are tied at 7. On the return comes Drake. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he finds Danny Amendola. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at it, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. To throw on second down is Tannehill. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. They go play action here on first down. Steps away. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. It's second down. Dalton looking. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
368!
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this. This is intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. He'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. Could pick up another first down with that run.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now on second down, this is Gore. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. From the 50, it's Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, particularly running the...
And off the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Catch made right side by Wilson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up the 3rd down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now here's Ross. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Go. We're good. Watch the curl.
Second down, Dalton. Steps away to his left. To the left side here for Eifert. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The toss play to Mixon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And now to the air, Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Ross. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals add on to their lead. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And our focus now shifts to Frank Gore. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On the counter, Gore. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Ross on the return. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Dalton, 1st and 10. They'll roll him out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a carry for Bernard. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals were able to grow their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On the handoff, it's Gore. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we...
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Cameron Wake in there to get him for a loss of 5.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. They get 8 yards back there, and they could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Side. There you go, 368.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And he's got room. That good for 19 at a first down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create
under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Vontaze perfect. Leading the surge there, he drops him for a loss of 6.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number. And the pressure gets to him again. Carl Lawson in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the... Key to this drive.
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Third quarter, you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game, and the Bengals add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance, and most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. On the return comes Drake. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
On first down, it's Gore. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gore. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Let's go. 30. Go.
Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And that one results in 35 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football. Back. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Escaping the pressure right on the crossing route. Complete. It's Ross. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. 1st and 10 for Dalton. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Mixon. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Bengals on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Dalton now to pass to Mixon on the check down. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
To throw here, Dalton. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Andy Dalton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
368.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. Rolling to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. On the toss, Mixon. Oh, good move. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So now here come the Dolphins. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. a hot route, so to speak.
Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of
looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. Stills the intended target.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Passing, it's Dalton, sliding out of the pocket. His throw incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent game, but all
Still
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Flush to his right. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson, the 20. 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jesse Bates. 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
It shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
He's going to let it fly. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 46. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, passing it. Dalton going deep downfield for Ross. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to get this all the way inside the Miami 15.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the pitch goes to Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.